Well, good evening once again. Day 1454 of the Trump administration. 8 days until the inauguration of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. As we come on the air tonight, as has been noted in our live coverage, the House is taking the first of two votes to try to remove Donald Trump from office. Voting is already underway in the House right now on this resolution calling on Vice President Pence to invoke the 25th Amendment. But the vote is only symbolic because Pence already said he's not going to do it, even though he refused to do Trump's bidding when it came to overturning the election. Peter Baker and his colleagues at the New York Times report on the blow-up between Trump and Pence last Wednesday, shortly before Pence headed to the Capitol. The Times quotes Trump as warning his ardently loyal sidekick, quote, "You can either go down in history as a patriot, or you can go down in history as a," and here the president uses his go-to P word. Earlier tonight, Pence sent a letter to Speaker Pelosi explaining his refusal to invoke the 25th Amendment against his boss. It reads in part, quote, "I do not believe that such a course of action is in the best interest of our nation or consistent with our Constitution. I urge you and every member of Congress to avoid actions that would further divide and inflame the passions of the moment." Well, the second vote is expected in the House sometime tomorrow. That would be the vote to impeach Donald Trump for a second time. As more House Republicans join that effort tonight, it seems certain the president will be impeached by the House again by this time tomorrow night. Tonight, nearly 1 week after the attack on the Capitol, Trump finally talked to reporters. He took questions on the role that his words played in setting off the bloody insurrection that took 5 lives, including that of a police officer. A week ago, Trump urged his supporters to walk down to the Capitol, saying they needed to fight like hell to show strength. Here is what Trump said today before leaving Washington for a trip to Texas to tout what's been built of his border wall.
People thought that what I said was totally appropriate. And if you look at what other people have said, politicians at a high level, about the riots during the summer, the horrible riots in Portland and Seattle and various other places, that was a real problem. They've analyzed my speech and my words and my final paragraph, my final sentence, and everybody to the T thought it was totally appropriate.
Tonight, there are significant cracks in the once seemingly impenetrable red wall of support that Republicans built around Donald Trump. The Senate Majority Leader is now breaking with Trump, it would seem. The New York Times reporting Mitch McConnell, quote, has told associates that he believes President Trump committed impeachable offenses and that he is pleased that Democrats are moving to impeach him, believing that it will make it easier to purge him from the party. The Times piece continues. Representative Kevin McCarthy of California, the House Minority Leader and one of Mr. Trump's most steadfast allies in Congress, has asked other Republicans whether he should call on Mr. Trump to resign. At least 4 House Republicans, Liz Cheney, the number 3 ranking Republican in the House, along with Congressman John Katko, Adam Kinzinger, and Fred Upton, have all said they will, in fact, cross over and vote to impeach Trump. Cheney, of course, the daughter of Dick Cheney, her statement said in part, quote, "There has never been a greater betrayal by a president of the United States of his office and his oath to the Constitution." Today, Trump tried to frame this fast-moving impeachment push as just part of an ongoing campaign against him.
The impeachment hoax is a continuation of the greatest and most vicious witch hunt in the history of our country, and is causing tremendous anger and division and pain, far greater than most people will ever understand, which is very dangerous for the USA, especially at this very tender time.
As the investigation into the Capitol attack continues, the New York Times reports federal authorities had warned the president about the possibility of violence the Sunday before the riots last Wednesday. The Times writes, quote, "Top officials in government had reason to be deeply concerned about the possibility of violence. The indications included a pair of FBI reports that warned of war and blowing up a building at a Midwest state house and a White House meeting where President Trump and top military officials discussed deploying the National Guard. And the Washington Post reports the day before, January 5th, an FBI office in Virginia warned extremists were preparing to travel to Washington to commit violence and war. The Post reports an internal bureau document noted online discussions of violence, saying, quote, "Be ready to fight. Congress needs to hear glass breaking, doors being kicked in, get violent. Stop calling this a march or rally or a protest. Go there ready for war. We get our president or we die."
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.